Hey guys, Danica Ferrante here from mybeautyscraps.com. Today I have another fun alternate idea to use your August paper pumpkin kit called Bold Botanicals. If you watched my last video about this kit, I shared an unboxing with all the kit contents and I showed you how to create this thanks card. It's so cute. I love those little wood veneers that come in this kit. Um, and this thank you, the colors, I guess, everything and the little leaves really reminded me of fall. And don't get me wrong, I am ready to dive into fall projects. In fact, I have my pre-order from the new holiday catalog. I've been stalking the tracking and it's set to be delivered to me today. And I am like waiting for the UPS guy to show up. um, but so I definitely am ready to dive into holiday and fall and Halloween projects. Yay, I love Halloween. Um, but it is also the middle of August. So I wanted to try to create a card using this kit that used more of those bright colors. So something a little more seasonally appropriate to give right now. And I came up with this card. I did pull in a few things from my stash. So let's get started and I'll show you what I used from the kit and what you'll need to have on hand. Everything that I pulled in from my stash is available in my online Stampin' Up store also. So I used one of the mint macaron card bases that came in the kit. And then I used this little like watercolor look piece of Calypso coral that came in the kit. And then from my stash, I pulled in this little strip of early espresso cardstock. It measures 4¼ long by 1 inch tall. I also used my 2-inch circle punch. You can get this in my online store as well, to just punch a little circle out of some scrap paper. And I used a doily because when in doubt, doily. I always go to these doilies. This actually comes in an assortment of gold and silver and in 2 different sizes. I love this pack and I use these all the time. So let's get started and I'll show you how I created this card. So all of the stamps I'm using are from the kit except for my little stamp for the back. I always like to stamp the backs of my cards. I love using our Better Than Email stamp set. One image in particular, if you guys watch my videos, you've seen me use this one over and over and over again. I love this little hand stamped for you stamp. But we actually just came out with a new stamp set. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but it's in my order that's going to be coming today. So I'm very excited to try it out and see if any of them replace my favorite, very well-loved stamp here. So let's make sure that's on the back. Let's stamp that toward the bottom. Isn't that cute? It's just very, very simple, and I feel like the design goes with just about everything. I use this one on the back of most of my cards. So now we're going to set our card base aside, and we're going to stamp on this little watercolor piece. So I used the same big stamp that I used in the last video. I love that this one big stamp creates the look of all of the work of piecing together like all of those tiny little stamps. Now this piece of Calypso coral like watercolor paper is a little small, so you do have to be a little careful to make sure you get the image all on there. So I'm going to go very close to the edges. It's just going to go ever so slightly off the edges. edge goes on the other side. And now we're going to work on our circle. So I really liked this image from the set. I think it's going to be fun to use to kind of turn a lot of straight sentiments into something that you can punch out in a circle, because it really frames a straight sentiment nicely. Get one towards the top. And one on the bottom. And then we're going to use the thanks that came in the set. And stamp that right in the middle. And now comes the very therapeutic part of the coloring. I'm using some of my Stampin' Up markers. I'm going to use the Calypso Coral and the Mint Macaron. And I'm going to use it has a fine tip and a brush tip. And I'm going to use the fine tip for most of the coloring because a lot of these leaves are very tiny. And I don't want to have to worry about being too careful with the brush tip to stay in the lines. And I'm going to switch to the brush tip to cover the large leaf. I just love the kit this month. The stamp set is awesome. I know after I use up all of my paper products in the kit, I'm going to be using the stamp set quite a bit. If you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you don't have this kit, first of all, you totally should subscribe because it's so fun. I love the surprise of the kits every month. And there's also no commitment when you sign up. You can cancel anytime. You don't have to commit to like 6 months or 12 months or anything. You can even just get it for 1 month and decide if it's not for you. But when you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can order kit refills so you can get more of these paper products to use with your stamp set and really get a lot more for your money, because the refills are only $8 in my Stampin' Up store, and you get everything from the kit except for the ink pad and the stamp set. But if you do really love this stamp set and you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you missed out on last month, just contact me. I have a link in the description box below. I do have a couple extra kits that I'd be happy to send out to you if you missed out and you're loving this kit as much as I do. And yeah, don't ever, never hesitate to reach out and contact me. I always love hearing from you guys. And if you do click that link to contact me down below, there's like a little contact form that comes up where you can ask me about anything. You can request a catalog. We have the new holiday catalog coming up, so you don't want to miss out on that. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I would love to send one out to you. All right, so that's kind of it for this card. We're just down to the assembly. So we're gonna start with this piece. Make sure my card's the right way here. So I'm gonna use this grid paper. I love this grid paper. It really helps to like line stuff up. And I'm just gonna use my snail adhesive. So I kind of wanted this piece to be a little bit up from the bottom, so the sentiment ends up being toward the top of the card, excuse me. So I'm gonna use my grid paper to make it about 1.25 inches, a little bit more than 1 inch up from the bottom, and then try to leave an even spacing on each side. I'm just eyeballing the sides there. That looks good. And then I'm also going to use my snail to adhere my little strip of early espresso cardstock. And I'm just going to put that right above where the stamping ends, because there's a little bit of a gap there. And the grid paper is really helpful to line that up too. Then I'm going to show you a little trick for the doily. A little trick / insight into my craziness. So when I'm lining up the doily, I really like that open spot to be the top, and then that little open hole there to be the bottom. But I want to pop my sentiment up with Stampin' Dimensional, so I'm just going to touch on that little dot of snail adhesive just to de-stickify it a little so I can peel it back up. And I'm going to try to line up this sentiment circle, so that little leaf is pointing to that hole in the doily, and that leaf points to the center of that one. And that way I know I'm lining up my doily straight on the card, and I can just easily line up my sentiment after. So then we're going to adhere the doily to the card with lots of snail adhesive to make sure that doesn't go anywhere. And bring the card back in. And then I want to line up the doily so that thanks is kind of centered on that strip of cardstock, and then the holes in the doily are going straight up and down. And when that looks good, give it a firm press before I lift up that sentiment circle. And then we're gonna cover it with Stampin' Dimensionals. So we got some Stampin' Dimensionals in the kit. So of course you can use those. I'm just using this sheet because I already was working on it. And I'm gonna put 5 to make sure it really stays popped up and doesn't get squished when it goes through the mail. And then I'm just going to center it back up with those little holes lined up with the leaves. And my sentiment is perfectly placed, and the card is done. Isn't that so cute? I really love how this one came out, and I think that by switching up the colors, it really made it a lot more summery. This is a perfect August card. So I have one more card base left in this kit, so I'm going to make a third one of this card. So now I'm gonna have 3 of this design and 3 of this design, and I still have a lot left in my kit, you guys. So I think this is going to be a really fun month for me to see how much I can really make from my kit. Of course, I want to make sure you guys know I am pulling in stuff for my stash, so I make sure I tell you when I'm adding something in that's not from the kit, but really not that many things, just a few simple supplies, and I'm really going to try to stretch this kit. I think it'll be fun to kind of make a kill a kit video at the end of the month to show you all the projects that I created using this kit and how far this kit really got me. And I think it would be cute to call it Let's Smash That Pumpkin. Sometimes I just revel in my dorkiness. So I hope you guys will subscribe so you won't miss any of the other fun ideas that I'm going to create with this kit. So subscribe to my channel and subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. There's a link down in the description box below where you can subscribe, choosing me as your demonstrator. I would love to have you make these kits with me and share your alternate ideas with me. I always love seeing the creative ways everybody uses their Paper Pumpkin kits. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that Smash That Pumpkin video that's coming up, and stay tuned for lots more fun alternate kit ideas. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.